Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is why everyone's losing their shit. Here's what's going on the planet today. Everyone's losing their shit. I mean, people are just becoming unglued and they're becoming polarized, and there's like really intense, painful issues coming to the surface, and people are not tolerating it anymore, and they are calling people out, and other people are like resisting and saying they're wrong. And all of this is going on because there's greater light coming into the world. There's greater light coming into each of our individual lives. And it is revealing all those dark areas, all those stuck issues, all those hidden things coming to light in full view, and we're all having really strong reactions. On top of that, they're not only coming into view, but as the light increases, those dark things are going away. Because when you really shine full light on something, the shadows disappear. Shadows start to happen when the light comes in. You can kind of think of it like when the sun is right overhead, there's no shadows. When the sun is coming up, there's shadows. And what the light is consciousness. And what consciousness is us. The greater aspect of us is coming in, and there's really no directional about this. It's really coming from the inside out is another way to look at it. Greater aspect of us is coming in. We are expanding. We are viewing the world with greater wisdom, knowingness, awareness, bringing up the issues within us that we have been in denial about, ignoring, ignorant about. Some of us have not been framing some of these things with the awareness that is now being brought to light. 100 years ago, it was perfectly acceptable to beat your children, to hit them with leather straps, hairbrushes, canes, or whatever. And it was actually humane to spank them with their bare hands, because then it hurt the parent too. Now we would say that's physical abuse. Now we have a light shone on that as physical abuse. Now we've got a greater awareness of what is not acceptable behavior, not just language, but behavior in interacting with other people. Anything that is invasive, anything that is disrespectful, anything that causes pain or harm to the other person is having a light shone on it, and people are saying that's not okay. Now on the other side, there are people who are saying, oh, that's not so bad. It really is still okay. Those people are actually in more pain than the people calling them out. People calling them out are traumatized and in a certain amount of emotional pain, but the people who are denying it are clinging tightly to their little island in the stream and not realizing that it is a melting iceberg. Their foundation is going away. What is being replaced, however, is something more powerful and more potent, which is the light of consciousness, which is their true power, who they essentially are. They're probably scared shitless about that light. We're scared shitless about our own power. That's because we all have a paradigm of power being abusive, or power being domineering, or power being something outside of ourselves, keeping us from what we want or what we need. And also we have the programming that we have to do anything to be taken care of, put up with anything to be taken care of, things we have to do in order to be nurtured, to be fed, to be clothed, to be housed. Really core survival issues coming to the surface. We're all losing our shit over that. We're feeling threatened by the old paradigm, the old paradigm's being threatened by the new paradigm. That's what's going on. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter how spiritual or aware you are, your stuff is coming up too. Really hard to go through life in your yellow robes and your serenity when you've got your core stuff hitting you as well. You might be revisiting issues that you thought you had resolved decades ago. You might be having things brought up to your face that you didn't realize were issues. I had no idea that was a problem. That was a problem. It's really challenging if you've got a really strong spiritual practice and you've got a really strong recovery program to suddenly find there's something secondary coming up, or you're having to go back to the basics with it. And also maybe finding that your basic techniques don't work. I've had a spiritual practice since I was 18 years old. I know all the prayers in Sanskrit. Why aren't they working? You're at a new level with it. It's like exercising and your old exercises aren't building your muscles anymore. You're going to have to come up with new ways of exercising to build those new muscles. So my suggestion on how to get through these challenging and tough times is to do your best not to be reactive. Your inner child, your body personality is going to feel threatened. It's going to feel challenged by this. It's going to want to be reactive. It's going to be really angry about all those people out there, things out there, circumstances out there that are doing these injustices, that are victimizing you again, or finally coming to light to be talked about. Give yourself 24 hours to respond to anything. Take a walk in nature. That may feel really like, I need to get these feelings out. This is an opportunity for you as consciousness, since it's the greater light of you coming in. This is an opportunity for you to be your own parent, to be your own nurturer and carer. Give yourself a break from the news. Take yourself on a walk. Give yourself a 5-minute break with a cup of tea. You can provide your own comfort during this time, and it can help you with your perspective, because there is a higher perspective. When you're viewing this from your higher perspective, you can see the big picture of what's going on. And, oh, this is what's happening at this time. These foundational things are disintegrating and going away. If you are reliant on these things on a physical level, it's going to feel like an earthquake and you're losing your foundation. But it's really an opportunity to strengthen your inner foundation, to strengthen your connection with your inner foundation, to realize you have an inner foundation, you have an inner resource that is stronger than anything out there. You can stand and hold your own amidst everything else, everyone else that's losing it. And if you're losing it, just let yourself know that nothing is ever truly lost that is truly valuable. You can always get your stuff from the Akashic records, from your file boxes in the back, but they don't have to be out in front in your office, in your daily life. When you release those things that you felt were near and dear, what gets replaced is what's truly valuable. It just reminds me of when people have lost everything in a fire or a flood, and they realize that they're just photographs, they're just mementos, but they still have each other. You could take that even to a higher level of the people who pass aren't really gone. It's an opportunity to have a relationship with them in a whole new way. As we raise up to this increase of awareness, this increase of light, you'll discover that your experience is expanded, and what you're gaining is infinitely more valuable than the things that were let go. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I put out a weekly radio show and podcast. I also put out a weekly e-zine and blog. I do meetups around the Puget Sound from Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, Lakewood, University Place, and more. And I do coaching by phone and Skype. So if you want to know more about how to navigate your life as consciousness and manifest in a whole new way, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com and I'll be back in a couple of days with another Mystic Minute.